hardwired system connected to the weather service, connected to the government, anything like that. Just in the old days, every single camp should have that. There's no question about it. They probably did. I don't know, but maybe the information wasn't getting to them accurately from whoever. I'm speculating. But every camp should have that, so that should exist. I don't know if Texas mandates that or not, but if you know New York State, they have a crazy amount of camps here, like way more than almost any other region in the country. And so they certainly mandate a lot of things that we've had to do over the years, like fire drills and all this other stuff. So we have a whole system in place with sirens and everything. And this is upstate New York. A lot of weather events don't hit up there except for like lightning. And that's it. So I just want to make sure that people understand that it exists. It can happen and should happen in all these.
I mean, but
yeah, go ahead.
We got the infrastructure here, it has to improve. But even what you're saying may not have been feasible. Poles and wires got knocked out. Cell phone towers got swept away. Entire homes got swept away like they were tin cans.
Ashton, if you have a tower that's warning you of a flood, it could be washed out as well, but it's warning you before it's washed out. That's the whole point. Y'all keep trying to make excuses for the unexcusable. This is crazy, because have you worked at a camp before?
Yes.
Have you worked at a camp in the middle of nowhere with kids? They are very, very cautious. They have ways of, what if something happened? What if there was a medical emergency with these kids?
Yeah, it's
and you sitting up there talking about you don't have any self-service, you have no way of talking to the outside world. This is ridiculous.
That's the way it is out there.
No, it's not like that. You have to have, when you got kids on your property and you're running a camp, you have to be able to communicate with the outside world. You are responsible for other people's children. If there's a medical emergency at that camp, what are you going to do?
Like walkie-talkies or CB radio.
Hey, Lisa.
Most camps have satellite phones. They have their radio.
But not even that. They have a CB radio. They should have walkie-talkies.
Well, I was just gonna mention. Somebody said that the Rangers were cut. Is that what somebody?
That's the Rangers were cut. Yes, sir.
Well, it was a private Christian camp. It says no camp Mystic is a girls' summer camp, not a camp for Rangers. It is a Christian summer camp that has operated for 99 years in the Guadalupe River in Texas.
We're talking about the actual campgrounds. So does the campgrounds itself not have Rangers?
No, that's what I just looked at. The camp and the campgrounds.
Private camp. So
that's where all the girls were washed up.
To the Christian, whatever.
Yeah, a Mystic Camp is what the campground's located on, and it says that it's a privately owned camp for Christian girls.
And when things are privately owned in Texas, to be honest with you, it's crazy how this is. They actually run on their own system. It's crazy how that is. Everywhere else you can say, no. You can go on, somebody have a ranch, they do whatever the fuck they want to do on a ranch in Texas. Like, they don't fuck with privately owned shit in Texas. So should you have it? Yes. Did they have it? No. It doesn't mean that they're connected to, they don't have to be the way that, even when y'all talk about like, lines and all of that stuff. If you're out in the woods, you don't have power lines. I mean, you don't have like telephone lines that's running always to there. They should have other methods. But when we say there's no cell phone service, we don't mean it's zero cell phone service. We mean, like, I have AT&T. I keep AT&T and I pay the AT&T money. Why? Because my AT&T travels to most of these places in Texas. But there are some places where AT&T will fall out of service. And I'll be like, oh, shit. But then everybody doesn't have AT&T. Everybody not willing to pay the AT&T price. So if you have other services, your service may not have as many towers that it can ping off of. So now if a tower go down, now that service that go down. And that's how it works. So the cell phone services ping to each other. AT&T is a great service to have because it has multiple towers. Not all of these services do. Not everybody who is on, can afford the AT&T all the time, especially in these poor areas. So there's multiple reasons why this shit became a perfect storm in a sense. If they didn't have that stuff, if it's a privately owned camp, they may run off of different regulations. What you do in your private owned camp, because people pay to go there and they're doing it differently, they may not have to have the same things that a public or a camp that's ran by the city may have. You know what I'm saying? It's just levels to why this stuff happens, but this should be a wake-up call on so many levels. So many things should be said. Like, there's people that go camping all the time. There are people that go out in the woods and they be going hiking. Well, guess what? They probably wouldn't have got the notice because their phone might have went dead. This and the other. People were literally on vacating in this area. People tend to like to be around the water around the holidays here in Texas. That's a big thing. They don't have all of that stuff.
I found out some lawsuits that they were undergoing since 2007 through 2012, a family feud. The brother, Richard Eastland of the Camp Mystic versus his sibling, Stacy, the plaintiffs accused Dick of underpaying the rent, misappropriating corporate opportunities, and breaching fiduciary duties, claiming he skinned millions by paying below market rent to NFP. It sounds really corrupt over there, sadly, folks.
Also, one of the other locations was a place called KTR RV Park, where 26 people were washed away. It was an RV park for the camp.
Okay, so this camp is liable. Does anybody disagree?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
I hope they got some insurance because they're 100% liable. Does anybody disagree?
Yeah, they're going to child protective safety laws. They're going to be sued, but here's the point. The state
And the
and
county.
the county owes the responsibility to people who can't protect themselves. I don't care if it's a private entity, okay? Children cannot speak for themselves. They cannot get up and drive cars. They don't have freedom of movement. It's limited. So whether it's a private company or not, state and county owe a level of protection to those children. And I want to hear that this is not being harped all day because shit like this happened in Florida all the time. I want to hear that camp had a process in place where there were multiple adult counselors on guard every single night. Whether there's a storm or not, somebody should be awake, monitoring the weather, monitoring the safety of the children. You can't all damn carry ass to sleep. And anecdotally, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, anecdotally, from what I've seen from the little stories that we've heard, it doesn't seem that there was a coordinated effort to evacuate those children. It seemed ad hoc. Somebody woke up one night, realized that the water was up to the cabin, got the two children out the window. It seems anecdotally. So I'm gonna stick a pen and reserve judgment. But they definitely should have processes in place. I don't care if it's 100 event. It happened before. You know there's a likelihood that it could happen again. You don't play Russian roulette with children who can't protect themselves. I'm sorry. I'm not giving any quarter for this. I'm very, very particular with children. Processes should be in place, and fire the damn legislatures if they're not up to speed to put the things to keep the community safe. Stop electing these deadbeats.
Question: the two staff members that saved the 20 children, did they not do their job?
No.
They did that? No, wait, I forgot. Do the question again.
The two staff members that removed 20 children, that saved 20 children, did they not do their job?
No, because there was a lot more kids that died.
They did do their job.
If one child died...
Hold on. I understand that 23 died, but we also have to recognize the two workers, the two teenagers, let's be clear, that saved 20 kids.
Of course they do.
That had those kids write their names on their bodies just in case.
Okay, if they're given authority over the full 50 kids and half the kids die, that means they dropped the ball. So they should have had preemptive warning, even if they were just watching the National Weather Service and they seen that it was getting severe. They should have moved the kids out hours before, and nobody would have died.
No, what you're not understanding is that was 2 different camps. The first camp did get all of their children
They
out.
think the whole 104 came from the camp.
No,
No,
they don't understand.
26
Wait. I'm gonna break it
26
down.
came
No,
from
you're not.
26.
You don't understand. No,
Yeah, well, you
sir,
got Camp
listen.
Mystic,
There
you
were
got
2 camps.
KTO.
Wait, can we tell you?
I'll
Because
stay
you're not
there.
listening.
Yeah,
There are 2 camps.
Tell me what I don't know.
There are 2 camps. Those 2 girls cleared one whole camp, and all those
Thank
people.
you,
The
Natty.
second
Thank
camp was the ones that their people did not know and did not understand. They said those 2 girls noticed something was wrong. It wasn't like they got noticed. They realized something wasn't right, and they started getting the people out. But the reality also, when y'all say, well, y'all couldn't. Literally all around Kirksville was underwater.
Yes, there was
Opposite of
notices.
Georgetown. Wait
There
a
was
minute.
notices
So
the
there
night
was no
before.
way to pick. So it's like, wait a minute. It's picking. Georgetown, where you got whole apartment buildings underwater. Kids is in those too. You got all these other towns. So people were literally all over the place until the rain stopped, until the water calmed. They could not get in there to get anybody.
They knew that there was going to be a severe weather event the night before. Whenever there's a tornado heading here in Texas, and even within a half hour or 45 minutes from our city, I tell my wife and kids to get into the bathroom and set up the bed and stuff and get all that stuff ready and get prepared. I mean, this is the point. If they knew there was going to be any type of severe event, and you're in control, possession of that amount of kids, even just one kid, but especially a huge group of kids, they should have been on the fucking ball. They should have been watching this shit all night. All the surrounding counties were notified. Even if you're saying Kerrville wasn't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying there's a difference between the camp counselors and the people who run the fucking camp.
I know, but if it's, I get that, but whoever's in charge, if they are given possession and authority over those kids, they are held responsible. It doesn't matter if they're 16, 17-year-olds. If a 16, 17-year-old is watching over a swimming pool, if a 16, hold on, Scotty, if a 16, 17-year-old is a lifeguard on duty in a swimming pool and he's not paying attention and gets drowned, then they are liable.
The camp administration, that's where it's not. The responsibility is with them.
I have one question real quick, Mr.
It's not for the camp fucking counselor.
Yes, it is. They should be awake. That was the point. They should have been awake. All of them should have been awake monitoring this event.
One mic on Haitian, please. One mic on Haitian.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out, is that a blackface Trump?
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. My thing is, obviously, we know there was 2 different camps. I understand we want to keep on speaking on the 104 that died and the 104 that died. But to be clear, nobody wants to speak about the 20 that's alive. You know why? Because that was 2 Mexican counselors that saved those 20 kids. So they don't want to speak on that. That's why that is not in the. That's not in the report.
Wait, what are you talking about? It's like half the state is Mexican. What would be the agenda of half the
Are
state?
you guys shitting me? What I am telling
Texas
you
is
is what's not on the news. That's what I am.
25% of the
Are you
state is
shitting me
Hispanic.
right now? Are we speaking about the same red state? Are we speaking about the same red state?
Yeah, I know.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
The state that's, almost half Hispanic is secretly hiding the fact
What the fuck does that
help
mean?
them out. Yeah,
That's the fucking problem. You're Hispanic. That's bullshit.
No, look at the crack his PTO. What do you expect?
That shit is fucking bullshit. Stop with that fucking rhetoric. That just because you're Hispanic, you ain't fucking racist. Just because you're Hispanic, you don't want to be white. Everybody's the fucking same. No, that's not the fucking case. And once again, they're not mentioning it because it's not fucking convenient for them to fucking mention it. Even you right now, let's not talk about those 20. Let's talk about the 23 that died. It's like, come on.
Yep, and Haitian and Mel and everybody. This dude, he's classified as...
Yeah, I'm fucking yelling. If you don't want to hear me yelling, lower your fucking mic. Lower your fucking volume. You got control of your fucking phone.
Oh yeah, it's a secret conspiracy of racism and Texas to not point out that the two kids were Hispanic. It's made up by half the population.
He's classified as Armenian, you guys.
I'm not Armenian.
Somebody else who.
No, not Armenian.
Well, you have Armenian. You have that in your profile.
No, it's actually making jest at a person who was giving me shit.
No, well there you go. See, you want to play games. Now Texas is not racist. You're crazy as hell.
Well, no, it's actually somebody that was talking about the Armenian genocide, and I said Armenians equals.
Nobody. We don't care about that. We're talking about whether
Trent Mexican runs the state, and there are racist Mexicans. There are Mexicans that don't want to be called Mexican. There are Mexicans that think they want to be white. I want to be white. Are you fucking kidding me right now? And this goes for all fucking Hispanic countries. This is just not Mexicans. But if y'all want to keep it on the Mexicans, we can keep it on them.
I'll tell you this, Mel. I don't think there's going to be one parent that goes back and said what was just said on the stage in regards to blaming the two teenagers that were on point. I don't think nobody's going to do that outside of this room.
And when Mel's waking it up, because she's right. I haven't seen any news articles and like a whole bunch of videos and stuff like that around the two counselors that saved the 20 kids. It's definitely, and I get it. Like you would actually focus more on the dead people, but today and yesterday, there's been a lot of videos and some articles out about who was saved, right? So like they're showing the drone footage, they're showing the police and all these people pulling people out of the water. Where's the two counselors and the 20 kids?
Wait, do you want me to start posting the dozens of articles talking about the 14 children that were saved by the two counselors? You want to start with all those articles?
Yeah, I feel that why
because they don't exist.
The responsibility is
Texas is so racist.
He's gonna speak about TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. They are not on
CBS,
they're not on
CBS,
they're not in the front news.
People.com,
Okay.
Threads.com,
on the social media platform.
WSAW.com, which is a local news station. Which other ones do you want? You want more? Okay, so.
Let's work. No, like I said, get your fucking PTR, you piece of shit.
Well, why would I do that?
All right.
Why the fuck you in a space with black people?
He's a lovely racist Mexican. What you think?
Dirty motherfuckers. How you like that? You like that? White trash.
He a racist Mexican, defending
And I
Mexican.
was really trying to behave tonight, but I just can't look at this motherfucking dirty ass.
Yeah, I've been quiet too. I've been quiet for hours listening to this fuck shit.
This needs to stop. The mayor needs to implement some sort.
Well, you're the brilliant one, and thank you for that.
Are you here then?
Well, no, I actually came up to point something out and a couple things, correct a couple things. That was it.
Oh yeah, and then
Let me get you're getting a hard on because you're on the fucking app right now. You can talk shit to
I mean, I've had this PTR for like a year and a half, so it's not like I intentionally came up here. So with this, like, I'm gonna trigger people.
Can you drop him, please? He's annoying.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're the one that started the conspiracy, Scotty.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Fuck off. Anyway, here's the point. It's levels of responsibility here. The camp counselor, I've worked in these situations for years. I know how the levels of authority are. The camp counselors are instructed by the admin that runs the fucking camp. The people who are connected to the radios, the police, all of the emergency services. They will send out directives to the counselors when they get the warnings. If that was not done, and the counselors are seeing something happen, they will do their best to save people. But the responsibility falls on the administration of that camp. Also, as you move up the chain, was the camp getting the necessary responses from the local government, the local county, and the state? Were they getting all the information they needed to protect people? When parents send their kids to camp, they assume all of these systems are in place. They don't ask them, what kind of emergency service setup do you have? What kind of siren system do you have? They just assume all these things are done, because they also sometimes assume that the local government and the Texas government have systems in place to mandate that these camps have these systems in place. So I want to make the connection to all of those things. And it is absolutely fucking tragic that this fucking could have happened and it didn't need all of this necessary death. I'm specifically referring to the camp itself, not the campground.
I just put in the chat a little earlier that about the first of all, there were 2 former FEMA top level employees that were cut. They went to different kinds of evacuation service prep organizations, but they offered their services, and then they also gave some insights to what was wrong. One of them was that they often recommend in those camp situations crank radios. They said that's like one of those fundamental things. And then there was another link that I put in there about the details of the Camp Mystic, about the details of the evacuation plans that Camp Mystic had in their accreditation process. In addition to that, in that article, there's accounts that the mayor says and the judge says, even though they were told that the NWS said that they notified the mayor and the judge, they said that they didn't even get the warnings until, I guess, one of the mayor's got the warning at 5 a.m.
Emergency. Oh, that's all lies. I'm sorry. That's all lies. And the cover up is just getting ready to start. And
Yeah, that's not the emergency.
No, that's lies.
On the way, it's a drop of the ball, right?
That's lies. I just read an article. Who just said that, Trent? Yeah. Trent, I'm not sitting up here with my finger up my butt right now.
Lisa, can I speak after him?
Are you going to talk over me, though?
No, there's 2 different ones.
Are you going to talk over me, though?
No, I'm not.
Go ahead, Trent. You got it. No, go ahead.
There's 2 different warnings. What they were talking about getting before him is the emergency warning. That is the force-fed warning that goes to the cell phone. There were other alerts issued. That is 100% accurate. But what they were speaking of, they only got the 4 a.m. emergency.
Okay, so regardless of what everybody else got on their phones and everything else, I'm telling you, I'm reading articles where they were told at sunset the day before that this was going to be a storm that the ground wasn't going to be able to absorb this much rain.
Yeah.
So when you have, I don't know how many times, but this is like a circular conversation. When you have campgrounds and you are the owner or you the operator or whatever, you have to have emergency contingency plans in place. I do not care if you don't have the resources, the money, whatever. Don't run the campground then. I don't care the fact that, yes, I don't care if you don't have a designated line. That's your problem. Okay, listen to this part. Your kid, if you would have went to this camp orientation, because I worked camps before, right? I worked a lot of fucking camps, and Scotty's worked camps. First of all, the camp leaders come in, and we get, I don't know what kind of camp this was. I don't know if it was a discount camp. It was a Target camp. It was a Walmart camp. I don't know what it was. But every camp that I've ever volunteered or worked at, we have our orientation the first few days first. We're taught about all the warning systems. We're taught about the emergency systems, the evacuation routes, the medical emergencies, where everything is kept, the EUDs in case there's somebody's having a cardiac event, where the medical, just on and on. Because you got children. Right? I don't even know does anybody here know what the ratio was for camp leader to children? There's also laws, guidelines. I don't know if it's laws in Texas, because you guys is buck wild. You do whatever you guys fucking want in Texas. But there's also guidelines to how many camp leaders or team leaders are per child. There's ratios, right? Because you can't have 100 kids and 2 camp leaders. So if you go to the orientation of the camp, they usually have somebody come out to wherever you signing up, or you whatever website or something where it tells you all this. And if it's said on there, in case of emergency, we have no glass to break, and you're gonna send your kid anyway. Oh well, Junior. Good luck. I'm sending you to camp nowhere, no how, no way, because I need to get you out of my sight. I'm telling you, the camp is responsible. They're liable. If anybody disagrees, that's what I want to hear. And also, the county is liable. What just happened to these kids?
Can I speak?
And I'm not even talking about the adults and the other campers that were in the area. We're focusing on innocent children who need adults to help them get away. All right? The campers downstream, the grown-ass people living off the grid that wouldn't do, okay, whatever. But children need adult help and supervision in the case of an emergency.
I just looked up the ratio. I hope it's accurate, but it says 9 to 10 kids because they had 78 leaders or camp counselors, and there was 750 campers.
Wait,
I don't know
what?
if a camper. I don't know if a camper is.
Wait, can you just repeat what you just said?
Supposed to be one adult supervisor.
I have okay, there's not one. Okay, wait, hold up. Repeat what you said, 11.
I'm looking at
those numbers.
Yeah, what I'm looking at may be related more to people camping, because Camp Mystic is not the actual camp, right? Is that the actual camp for the kids?
Yes, Camp Mystic. It's a Christian privately owned camp.
Okay, so it says the last reported number of camp counselors leaders was 78 as of 2018, and they said 750 campers. So it's one leader for every.
That's right. That's about right. It's 8 to 10 kids per leader. So that's about right.
But it's not always.
Okay.
It's not always full. But I'm just gonna say one thing. Y'all don't crucify me when I say this, please. Don't crucify me. There is now going to be. They are calling for an investigation into a company called Rainmaker.
Don't say it.
Oh God.
Don't say it. Come on, man.
Bro, this is
Come
the
on,
state.
bro.
They just
Come
had
on,
just listen. They did on July 2nd. Yes, the company is called Rainmaker. The CEO just spoke. They did do cloud seeding in Karnes County, which is 120 miles, about 180 miles southwest of San Antonio. But the
this has no connection.
The experts are really talking about the technology.
Just let me finish. The wind flow.
Wait, Trent, you realize we all have the internet. We can actually Google search and see that it's a conspiracy going around on social media. It says. So social media speculation linked Rainmaker Technology Corporation cloud seeding operation until July 4th floods in Texas. However, the company's CEO, Augustus Dorico, and other sources have refuted these claims. There is no investigation.
They're calling for an investigation.
People like you are.
Yeah,
people like you are.
The ones that believe the ones that believe the conspiracy.
Bro, like, I don't mind conspiracies if there's actually 3 or more people conspiring, but like these conspiracy theories are just bullshit.
Black Trump, let me finish. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but they announced it that the wind flows to the northwest.
You are definitely a conspiracy theorist.
Okay, then I'm a conspiracy
You
theorist.
are.
That's fine. The wind flow. Listen, the wind flow was to the northwest, and where the wind flow, they mapped this out. Like,
Why do you do this? Wait, why do you do this, Trent? It's a conspiracy, and you are adding more shit into this pile of garbage. What are you doing?
Because I would say you should at least look. You should at least look at it.
No, because I'm not fucking gullible, bro. Because I can fucking.
Hold on for 1 second. Like, hey Trent, I've been listening for a while. I haven't said much, right? Initially, earlier when you came in, you basically were saying, yeah, that could be a possibility, but not really. You know, they were cross-slating, but it wasn't an issue. Somebody else initiated it. You substantiated it. But said it wasn't a realistic possibility. Right now, I know. Well, I'm accurate. One thing we do know is there's not been one instance of cloud seeding yielding a storm. It can enhance weather that's already there. It can't create weather that isn't, right? So now when we're starting to go down this rabbit hole that doesn't even fucking exist, let me finish, of cloud seeding that we've already has never been substantiated on any scientific level ever in the history of fucking niggerdom, then why are we even having this conversation?
Listen, this is why they're calling for it. because the flow they did spray on July 2nd at 4 p.m.
Yeah, but you didn't
We
know
know
that
this.
girl.
Nobody's denying that.
So that girl brought it up. So what you did was look for an article that made it make sense for you because you have a mental health issue.
I didn't think that this was fucking possible either. But they've got graphs and they show the flow.
Dude, you were so gullible.
Northwest. And the
You were
flow.
so gullible. Pause before you inject this shit into conversation.
Trent, can you explain to us about the reptilians, too?
Welcome to all.
Let's stay off the reptilians.
Do you think the reptilians had anything to do with the cloud seeding, or maybe they enhanced it?
Just look. They just had them on the Houston Chronicle. Now there were people calling it an investigation. When I look at the map, because what is hard to predict? It's precipitation. And what was so far off about this storm was the precipitation. And what cloud seeding does is doesn't create a storm. That is correct. It increases precipitation. And so I just think it's worth an investigation.
Not like that. It does not increase precipitation like that. It does not.
No, cloud seeding doesn't. It doesn't
It does not increase it to that degree that they saw that night. It does not.
Ma'am,
It does not.
By their
The
own
clouds
admission.
dissipated after they seeded them, and it was 100 and some miles away. So no,
I get it, but that's what he said. But they've already shown
you don't get it. You just keep coming back to
looking at it.
You're
Hold on.
stuck in it like a hamster in a cage.
No, I'm just saying it is worth an investigation, and it should be looked at, and it will be looked at 100%.
Right.
No, because it doesn't exist. It's not real.
This is how conspiracy theories get spread.
Yeah.
Also, to Gemini's point, and we all heard it in the room, he was saying, no, it's not, it's cloud seeding's not responsible. Then somebody brought up something that triggered him and made him lose his fucking shit and go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, and then he came back and changed his mind.
Exactly.
So this is how
It's called Johnny Walker.
That's exactly what I was saying, Scotty.
I'm just saying, we all witnessed it in real time, how a conspiracy actually can actually foment in the minds of people like Trump in real time, and we saw it happen here. God bless the fort.
Wait, Scotty, didn't you bring up a conspiracy that Greg Abbott hates all the Texans and wants them all dead? That they don't care about their...
No, that's a hyperbolic statement that you...
Oh, okay, cool. No, that's what you said. You said that they don't give a shit about their people, and that they should focus more on warning systems, and that they don't care.
They should. Yeah, they don't. It's not. They don't prioritize. They don't prioritize people. So that was the statement. You want to turn it into Greg Abbott wants to kill people? Sure, go ahead. I don't agree with you.
I mean, by saying that they don't give a shit about their own people, and they don't care if they die.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they prioritize other things over caring about their people. So, I mean, that's obvious.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh, I agree with that one.
Says the asshole blackface.
And Trump doesn't either.
I love black people. I think they're beautiful inside and out.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this clip. I think there's a clip of this guy who works for, I don't know who the heck he works for, but he's talking about he's talking about the warning system, you guys, because, I don't know where this is going to go, but I know that this is going to be a big mess in Texas. And once again, a cover-up is starting already. Let me play this one here. Prevented.
I've been here 45 years, not seen other floods. This was the biggest. And I don't know why we don't have an early warning system on this river. Not that it would have done enough. But we had a 30-foot wall of water, 300 yards wide, go down by my house at 85 miles an hour. So that's fast. And I just really think we need that.
Look, you're a code enforcement officer there for Ingram, Texas. I
mean, I know we're in the midst of this tragic situation, but clearly something needs to change, right? There have to be changes. You talk about an early warning system. I know that that's already been talked about. What are your thoughts? What do you think needs to be done going forward, just from your experience and you being a local, saying that this was a sadly historic tragedy?
So, if I may, let me say something, and that's that we in Cook County, Ingram, we're so humbled and blessed for all the people that have given their time and their energy to help us. We're humble and we're grateful. We do need a flood warning system. We need to maybe look at ordinances on campgrounds, maybe, on who can be there and how far down. But I don't think this was preventable.
Right. Well, just the fact that you're talking about ordinances on campgrounds and looking into the future and being able to save lives if, God forbid, this were to ever happen again in such a large scale. Stuart Gross, we appreciate your time and appreciate you.
Okay, I thought he was going to say a little bit more.
Why do they keep fucking camping near this river? Why would somebody do it if it's flooded before? I went to Christian camps growing up as a kid, and I always thought I was going to lose my life in one of them hinky-ass places, okay? And hinky places are fucking crazy, all right? If something happens to you so fucking far out, this don't make no sense to me at all. Why do you keep doing it? And they'll probably continue to do it.
I know. There's some crazy ass person in the fucking campground who comes in there and starts a match. You guys are making me. I ain't sending my kids to no camp. Now that I'm seeing all the holes and the cracks and shit, I'm not. Y'all can keep doing it.
Crystal Lake in New Hampshire where I grew up, so yeah.
One of the scariest things I keep hearing about is the lack of an evacuation plan, right? We understand that there was a lack of communication initially as far as the severity of the warnings that were issued, right? But the lack of an evacuation plan, the shelter-in-place mindset, which, I mean, that's waiting for death if you really think about it in a scenario like this. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I keep saying was there a lack of an evacuation plan?
That's what officials have said. Like officials
the counties didn't call for it; they delayed.
I'm just wondering because, like, a lot of times with those camps, like they have procedures. Like,
that's what I thought was weird. I'll find an article and put the link, Patty. But they said officials admitted to the lack of an evacuation plan other than shelter in place. Like, why would they admit that?
So are they talking about the officials for the local city or what? Or, like,
I think
was there something?
I think they're
or were they talking about the actual camp itself?
I took it as the officials for the city, but I don't. It could be the camp. I don't know. I'll find a link and put it in the chat, though.
Because a lot of times these camps actually have, like, I've never been to a camp that didn't have.
Me either. I'm a camper. I've never heard of that ever like that. That's usually a first discussion, like when you arrive on site, right? But yeah, for whatever reason, that's what they said.
Right. I put a link in the chat that was talking about their evacuation policy, right? But then there was something else that there was like 2 or 3 prior incidents where they had this flash flood.
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying all day, that there doesn't seem to be any processes in place. I'll wait to see if they announce it at this camp in terms of what is the planned, organized way that they respond to any type of critical event. Who are the counselors that are going to be assigned? Like in the hospital, I'm like a code blue Nazi. I train and I teach that. We have code blue team who is going to respond when somebody goes in cardiac arrest. And that changes every day, and everybody knows what to do when there's a code blue and who to show up. Did they have a plan in place where counselors, several of them, are awake and stand guard over those kids to make sure that they're safe, that if the rain has been happening for several days, that they're monitoring a ham radio? We're not going to rely on the electricity, especially in the wilderness, because we know with the weather it can go out. So they should have ham. I would expect that they have ham or crank radio. Who's monitoring that? And who is the chain of command who gives to say all clear or let's get these kids out of here? And I haven't heard that seems like this rescue issue was ad hoc, like it just was spontaneous. It didn't seem organized to me. That's me looking out. And that's my big issue. And that's why I'm focusing on the children, because there's nobody looking out for them.
It doesn't make sense. It says licensed youth camps in the state of Texas are required by law to have mandatory written emergency plans, including clear rules for counselors and other staff. State regulation, Texas Administrative Code, Title 25, Chapter 255. Every licensed youth camp must include its emergency plan procedures for disaster, serious incidents, epidemic, or fatality. Plans must be written, posted in every building, and include specific assignments for each staff and counselor. Campers and staff must be trained on these plans during staff orientation, and documentation of training is mandatory. So obviously they should have had a plan. Okay.
The answer to that, Patty, I found when I was looking for it, said Kern County Judge Rob Kelly repeatedly stated that neither county authorities nor camps had flood-specific warning systems or evacuation strategies in place, saying, quote, I don't know what kind of safety and evacuation plans those camps may have had.
So he said
it was a judge that was saying that.
And if you read it, he said he doesn't know what the plans that they had, is what I'm hearing from you. And then he said something about the emergency evacuation systems. So like, that's why I asked, is this specific to local, what the county has done versus what the camps do?
I think you're talking about the county.
So that's going to be the county, because there's an actual code for, there's a state regulation when it comes to Texas with these term camps.
Yeah, but
Here's one second. Here's something else, because the Guadalupe River is known for its propensity to flood, and it has earned the nickname Flash Flood Alley for its vulnerability to flash flooding. This nickname applies to the broader Texas Hill Country region, where the Guadalupe River is a prominent feature. The river and the surrounding area are prone to rapid and dangerous flooding due to a combination of factors, including the region's topography and the type of rainfall it receives. The river's course through the hill country's valleys and canyons can funnel and concentrate floodwaters, leading to sudden and intense rises in water levels.
And to take that a step further, Doc, give me 1 second, I'll be very brief. It says, Kerrville City Manager Dalton Rice expressed uncertainty about issuing evacuation orders, emphasizing they, quote-unquote, reluctantly avoided sounding alarms prematurely and lacked clear assessment of camp's readiness. So there was a lot of balls out there.
I wanted to say
something. I put in the chat that has from Houston Chronicle, right? That has the.
You go directly after that left.
What's that?
I was just telling her to go because she was waiting to go.
Oh, okay. Looking up. All right. So they basically in that article show the line of the flow, from the NWS down to the camp, right? And it says, just as one paragraph says, the leaders of Camp Mystic would activate their own emergency plan. If I guess that's as the last ditch thing, required in order to be licensed by the state of Texas as a youth camp and buttressed by the rigorous accreditation process of the American Camp Association, of which Mystic is a member. The plans are posted throughout the premises and reviewed annually by staff. They describe how an evacuation would proceed. Then it goes on to say no one would die. Right? So that's in the chat.
And then when y'all talking about flood zones, y'all looking up camps, it actually says that most camps, so even with the FEMA map, right? So most camps, they end up being in flood prone zones because of the natural settings, the lakes that are near it, and they're in rural areas. So like, regardless of the fact we can keep saying flood zone, whatever camp you go to, because of the proximity to water and at the low level, it's going to be a flood zone. Don't send your kids.
Can I speak, please? Is that okay? Because I wanted to say something that it's worth noting that when it came down to the other camps, because you have Camp Mystic, which was 8 to 17, you have Camp La Junta, which is general use, not specified
no known injuries. And then you had the Texas Lions camp serves disabled youth, and they had a safe evacuation with no incident. And while the reporting of seeing Camp Mystic wasn't a special needs camp, it served girls 8 to 17, and none of the coverage mentions disabilities. Nearby camps like the ones that I mentioned, which serve disabled youth, all managed to evacuate safely with 0 injuries reported. That points to a breakdown specifically at Mystic, not a genuine failure in handling vulnerable groups. So, like, when you look at it, when it goes into it, and it's worth noting that, for example, they serve children with, Texas Lions Camp, they serve children with physical disabilities, chronic illnesses, and medical vulnerabilities. They followed protocol, evacuated in time, and didn't lose a single child. That's proof that proper leadership and emergency response, these tragedies can be prevented. So how is it that a camp for children with complex needs got everyone to safety, while Camp Mystic had an advance warning at sunset the night before and ended up with dozens of children and teen counselors dead or missing? It shows us this wasn't just a natural disaster. This was a failure of leadership, planning, and accountability. It proves that the underage counselors should never have been left to carry that responsibility. Adults in charge failed them.
They didn't receive a notification at sunset the night before. So who said that? They didn't receive notification the night before.
There was notification on sunset.
They didn't. That's not
On July 3rd.
Yeah. So Lisa read that there was notification at sunset. I think throughout the county or something like that, or whatever. But that camp, what proof do people have that camp received notification at 6 p.m. the night before?
We don't have any proof of that. But do you think? I'm just asking.
No, that's what Aurora was saying, though, Lisa. That's why I zeroed in on her comment, because what she said is different from what you said.
And what's really weird to me, though, you guys, let's think about this. And this is not funny. I just have to release the stress off of my chest right now. Just knowing that these meteorologists are saying that they were warning, like gradually increasing this warning, starting from the day before. They knew the storm was coming. They knew it was going to be a lot of rain. My thing also is that if I'm at home and I know my kids are in flash flood alley, even if the camp's not getting it, maybe this happened. You guys think some of the parents might have tried to say, let me go and get my kid because they're in some type of flash flood alley. I'm sitting here watching MSNBC or whatever the hell, the local news station. And you think they thought to themselves, maybe I should either call up there. It has to be a way to communicate with this camp. You guys are not going to make me believe that there is no way the parents could be having an emergency. There could be a family emergency. And the way I'm getting some of you guys saying, it's just no way to get in contact with these. That's impossible. You're not going to tell me you're running a camp where there's not consistent communication. You're not going to do it. You might be able to do it in another room, but it's not going to happen right here because that don't make sense for you to be in charge of children and you don't have all kind of safety nets in place.
So here's a small little quote from a person, one of the Camp Mystic program directors. She said, at 3:11 a.m., I was woken up to help evacuate campers from their cabins. A Camp Mystic program director recently posted on social media, by 4 a.m., I was on a roof with the water right up to me.
And these are some little kids. Now, I understand all that, right? But there was something that happened before that. There's just, 3 a.m., they just realized that, shit was starting to go down. They knew this. I don't know if they ignored it. I don't know if they didn't want to lose their little funds or whatever they get, because I'm looking at a picture that's on New York Post that they posted. Shows Camp Mystic campers just days before every girl was lost in Texas. These are little girls. I don't know what people are thinking. These are little girls. We're not. And the camp director, camp counselor Chloe, I don't know, rest in peace. I don't even know if this lady is still with them or whatever. She looks really, really young too. Wait, she's not missing. Okay, who's missing? Okay, they got missing next to the people who are actually missing. But the camp counselor, Catherine Ferenzo, she also looks very, very young. She looked like she could be 15, 16 years old. I could be wrong.
Well, Lisa, that was a lady that was on CBS News with her daughter, and like 11, 12 years old. And the lady lives in, I guess they live up in Virginia somewhere, and the mom's from Texas. And she said her daughter's been attending there for the past 4 years since she's like 7 or 8. So yeah, it's a lot of little kids there. And I just can't understand why the fuck nobody was awake. And, you know, even midnight, seeing the storm going freaking crazy, it wasn't going, hey, do you think we should move these kids out of here? But it just sounds like everybody went in and went to bed and fell asleep and woke up 3 a.m. and was like, oh shit, the water's up to our waist. Like, I just...
And that's also...
How do you expect to go anywhere when the water gets to that level, you know? Like, when it was known that the water was on its way. But then, here's another thing, right? They said that it's a dangerous mix of communication failures. We identified those. Late warnings went out about those, and then overconfidence in existing protocols.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that sounds just about right.
Yeah, they figured, oh, it's just another storm. It's not that big a deal. Then they woke up and water's up to their waist, and then they started panicking.
Lisa, I want to tell you, I'm looking on their website, and all I can see is like where you would apply for a position, and it says that, wait a minute, other staff positions at this camp: camp nurse, nurse assistant, bookkeeper, secretary, kitchen worker, dining hall workers, camp store manager, ground workers, horse wrangler, and babysitter. Where was all these people at?
They were all sleeping, it sounds like.
And Nate, you have to be at least graduating from high school for these counselor positions. A 2-day orientation is what you get before each term begins. I don't know what's in that. I'm trying to figure it out looking at their website. Their website's kind of shitty. Anyway, that's all the people that's generally concerned. And I would imagine some of them were at home, a lot of them, but...
The article that Aurora was quoting from is an article created for Texas officials to deflect and essentially blame the victims. One of the paragraphs in here says, Dalton Rice, the city manager of Kerrville, said Monday that authorities were reluctant to cry wolf and order evacuations, adding that rainfall significantly exceeded the projected amounts. He said officials had little time to react in the middle of the night, adding that qualified first responders were being swept away driving through the initial rainfall. This rose very quickly in a very short amount of time. So once again, this falls on the government officials.
Money.
Yeah, I think, you guys, because we are reading about this camp. We are trying to get as much information so we won't be just in here saying harmful things. But to me, the lack of whatever guidelines that were put in place, number one. Number two, if it's raining that hard, in these little camps, they don't have the best buildings. You can hear the rain probably knocking the roof off. I just would have woke the kids up and maybe we could have just moved to higher ground or some shit. Or maybe they didn't feel like it. There should always be somebody awake. What if there was a fire that just started in this campground and all asleep? They have to be somebody awake with these children or taking turns or something. Everybody just can't be out cold. There could be somebody who wanders in and then, God forbid, it cause harm. What's the security system like then there, you guys?
Lisa, I've never been a camp ranger in one of these food places. I've never even been to camp, but I've always known that kids get up to crazy shit, at nighttime too. Wasn't there people that observing, making sure the girls weren't sneaking out doing something or whatever? having parties, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, whatever. Like, these are little kids. I mean, you gotta watch them, you know, especially like 7 to 18 or 7 to 17, whatever it is. Like, you would at least think that there would be like at least a quarter of these camp people would have been awake, at least just monitoring the kids. But like I said, it just sounded like everybody was asleep.
No, most camps, any camp that I've seen has a whole walkie-talkie system. So the counselors or a group leader within that cabin, there's at least one per cabin, and that is mandated so that people can get emergency, or put emergency protocols in place in case of a fire or flood, lightning, whatever it is. And those are the systems. That's like the basic.
Actually, I do take that back. I did go to Cub Scouts, so I guess Cub Scouts kind of counts as camp.
My son had to go to a 6th grade camp. It's mandatory. The kids have to go to a 6th grade camp, and the adults who went were parents and school staff, and they had to stay up all fucking night because you are responsible for 60 or 76 graders in different cabins. Yeah, you had a cabin as a parent or a staff member. So what the hell?
We did that too. At Cub Scouts, two students could stay up like 2-3 hours with the leaders, but they were up, there was always a girl that was always awake. Another thing, those cabins at Camp Mystic, they were built back in 1926 to 1930s, and from there on, they tried to maintain that aesthetic of the earlier cabins, right? They were not made flood resilient.
Well, I was going to ask.
I was a Girl Scout and a Rainbow Girl.
I was just going to ask, aren't most of these camps like hemorrhaging money, and a lot of them are like on the verge of like collapse? I mean, maybe that played a part in why they weren't so prepared. I mean, because you just look on Zillow and look up maximum square footage, and there's just camps all over the country that are closed for sale.
This camp had 6 to 8 terms a summer. I don't know how long their term was. It couldn't have been very long, but that's what their website said.
Yeah, I always thought that like camps nowadays are kind of like a thing of the past, almost like malls and stuff.
It depends on the region. Up in like New England, New York, it is just like the thing to send your kids to overnight camp. Like, they're incredibly popular, but there are a lot of older ones that don't have like the amenities and the updated infrastructures that are closing, and people are consolidating to, better camps. But
Christian camps are super popular.
Well, this one's going to be sued.
It's like VBS, Vacation Bible School, but that's not like a camp. You go to the church office.
Yeah, Vacation Bible School at the actual church. But this camp is going to be sued, and I know they have insurance. What kind of insurance? I don't know. So as just what time is it now? 12:13 in Manhattan, and I guess 9:13 on the West Coast. They're saying as of now, 24 minutes ago, the New York Times, Texas flood live updates, death toll tops 100, and they're still searching for victims. So, wait, does anybody have another number? Because it looks like we can go past 100 easy. Because it says it's topping 100 now. This makes no sense. 100 people dead over some preventable shit. Not the weather, not the nature's events, but planning, communication, notification, whatever. For somebody tell me what that's called. Is that called Flood Alley? I've been trying to look up.
Flash Flood Alley is called. But this whole thing about the cabin structure is really interesting when it comes to student possibilities, because the cabin sat below the historical 100-year flood line, and few had flood mitigation features like raised foundations, sealed flooring, or waterproof exits.
Yeah, and I can attest, just living in Texas, I mean, it is a state that you are on your P's and Q's when you're out in nature, because, I mean, we do have a lot of fucking crazy shit here. I mean, we got baseball-sized hail, basketball-sized hail in some rural parts of Texas. I mean, it can get wild real quick.
Yeah, that's even more reason. The more you guys are talking,
I love
the more
Texas.
I know that, that I know some, that it's really horrible, that this could have been not prevented, but it maybe wouldn't have looked like it does today, and we're quarterbacking, yes, but we're also going through all the articles, looking at what people are saying, reading what experts are saying. But in other news, you guys, we can still keep talking about this, but the Justice Department finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list. That's one
that's another
news article from today, right? More lies. And then Trump and Musk are now, their feud is escalating because Musk decided he was going to, you guys said he created a new political party today. That's what I heard earlier. And then he says, Trump is saying he's sending more weapons to Ukraine. And then the thing that happened in LA in the park. Those are some of the other top headlines that are going on right now. And that's just some. It's a lot of shit going on.
So the late massacres, it was written by Benjamin Franklin, and there were other stories, but his point of his story was saying that you're calling these people Muslims heathens because they are not Christians, but actually you're the heathen because you are killing prisoners of war. And then he said the Muslims actually the ones established that you shouldn't kill prisoners of war. And he had that story that I had said was the last story he had, but he actually, Benjamin Franklin quoted the Sirah, like a hadith, at a time, the first story he told, and there were four, at a time when there was no like translation of
all the time. And we don't want just regular arrests. We want to see big names. We want to see like Hillary Clinton or something like that. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody that I've never heard of.
Olive, I DM'd you three rings.
Hey, Olive, I want to say something.
I want to say something to her really quick too. The only thing that makes me, I've known about the children for a long time. I check every day, right, to see what sex traffickers have been arrested in the entire country. That is the only thing that gives me hope. So I understand that since no one is talking about it on X, you don't see any hope. But I just sent you specifically for Wisconsin. Read it and just keep paying attention to your state. Because yes, you want Hillary Clinton, but it's the people on the ground that are actually trafficking humans.
Local, the sheriffs and all that stuff. Some of the local sheriffs.
A sheriff got arrested in Wisconsin. I just signed
Why don't you mention the CPS thing with the judges? Can you mention that real quick, Turner, if you don't mind, please? Tell everybody, reiterate what the CPS got going on with the judges' pension.
Oh yeah, the pension fund that's set up between the city managers and the lower court judges is their pension funds are funded by CPS profits. So that's why historically they don't do anything to mess up or mess with CPS because it affects their retirement, and it's giant money. It's unbelievable money what goes back and forth behind the scenes.
So
thank you for that.
In Wisconsin, you have Operation Restore Justice.
If you could pick real quick, let Carmen go real quick because she wanted to talk dialogue real quick. So and then we got other hands up, and then we got to read the document. So We got Carmen.
Yeah, I've got the document. I know Olive wanted to hear that. You know, Olive, I don't know you that great, but I do have respect for you. And I'm going to say this. I truly believe that you really want the children protected. I do believe that. And I feel like, you know, we go to the wrong places to get our information. And we listen instead of research, right? And so I ask you, I really just beg you, actually, please, because you could be a really big voice. You got a really soft voice, so a lot of people would take to that. And you know, for the children, right? They don't have a voice. They have it's very small, right? So we have to be their voice. And I ask you to please go to a couple websites that I'll DM you, and I'll even go to even the local areas in my hometown and send you some information. How they're busting them. These rings are in your neighborhood, okay? In your neighborhood. Trust me. So I want you to see this, and then ask yourself when you're going to any other space, and they're starting to down it. Remember what you just witnessed and seen. You just seen what I'm sending you. And it's not my information. You go do the research, and then you bring it back, and you say, well, y'all can't say that he hasn't done anything, because I can count 797 people that have been taken off the streets and over 1,000 children that have been saved, right? Protected. I mean, there they are. So I want you to really do that, please. I think you got a good spirit, and you'd be great for the community. We need people like you. So I'll read that really quick.
I'll vouch for Olive. I've been around.
I know. I've known Olive forever.
Yeah, right. I don't know why I'm not following you and you're not following me.
Oh my God, please, with the follow.
I'm all about the bees.
Hey guys, can I mention something about Wisconsin?
All right, go ahead. And then we gotta go read that after Rubber Duck.
So just because Wisconsin will play a very big part of this. It has in the past. It was dealt with between 2017 and mid 2019. But Racine, Wisconsin, it's part of the trafficking lines called the Orion Network, and one of them was in Killeen, Texas. There's a bunch of them, and these are all deep underground, old, dilapidated, underground military bases. Some still active, some not still active. Some of them are underground, CIA operations where they do all the MK Ultra bullshit. That's where they create all the mass shooters and all that shit. Like Jason Bourne type of people. Well, Racine, in Racine, Wisconsin, and this was done under Paul Walker and Paul Ryan. And as you guys remember, Paul Ryan was big anti-Trump, big time cabal. And he basically, even though, we had the White House, we had the Congress, we had the Senate during Trump's first term. If y'all remember, it was Paul Ryan who was, the Pelosi of that time, keeping Trump from doing all of that. And he put a very bright light on himself. So they had to take him away from the Senate, from government, and they put him as the board of directors for Fox News, which is where he stays to this day, if I'm not mistaken. So Racine, you don't need to do much more than surface research on the child trafficking or Orion lines in order to find a lot of stuff up there in Racine, because it goes Wisconsin, it goes all the way down through Milwaukee, goes into Indiana, and it's just, Mike Pence was involved with this, and it has a lot to do with Indiana. It has a lot to do with Wisconsin around that bend there. So there's a lot to research. So, and I found it pretty quickly.
Yeah, Wisconsin, I totally
agree. Let me show y'all something real quick. I want to show y'all something. Now, I'm going to put this Trump post that I post. All I said was, because Trump made a statement on Truth Social. He said the FBI, under the direction of Director Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino, is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up American streets. We all have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and corrupt leadership often prevented them from doing their job. That is no longer the case, and now they have been unleashed to do their jobs and they are doing just that. Keep it up. Make America great again. Now, look at this post real quick, you guys. No comment. Look, all I did, look at this. Look, I just want to show y'all something. All I did was say, Will said POTUS list, LLG, right? Go in the comment section. Look at the comments. All I said, bro, look at it. I'm not lying. All I said was Will said POTUS. Why are they making these personal attacks? Look at it. Go look. I have like this thing got 12,000 views. I have so many people in that comment section that is personally attacking me just because I reposted something Trump did. You know what I mean? And this is what the left used to do. You see what I'm saying? The left used to put on these attacks. Go look at all your fake. Go look. I ain't said a word. I didn't like it. I didn't respond back. I didn't say anything. It's kind of like you guys are freaking obsessed, bro. Like, you guys are really obsessed with Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Like, this is crazy. Not all of them. They got some of our people that commented in there, but you guys, all I said was Will said POTUS. And we're showing you guys right now in this with the FBI what they had. Why I said well done, because the FBI under the direction of Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino are back to the basics, locking criminals up. Bro, we just showed you guys, and that's just a little bit. That's actually true. So why are these people punished?
Because trafficking is actually on this app, and when we talk about it, or when we actually rescuing people, bots get activated. And that's the plain truth, and that's the most disgusting truth. And we've been dealing with this before Elon even purchased it, Twitter. So not everybody wants to see children rescued because they are literally involved in the trafficking. Not everyone wants to have fentanyl be seized because they're making a lot of money off selling it.
No, just real quick, Squirt. So again, and then we just lost quite a few speakers. But you guys don't look at this. This is cool, man. I just looked at this just now. Look at N. Malcolm 84. It's the Jews, Mister. It's the Jews, bro. He's clearly a clown. Why? Just because I support Trump and we're telling the truth. I'm literally posting stuff that's true. Why am I a clown? What are you talking about? Look down the list. Just keep going. And it goes on and on and on. And I didn't even realize that.
Oh, wait, Patriot. One says you're paid off. That's hilarious.
But I want y'all to look at the people on this list. What did I say to leave them so bad? When we tell y'all, and then I'm going to tell y'all that people just hate Trump because Trump is doing the right thing for America. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't say nothing derogatory or nothing to these people in there. In my comment, looking like my ex-girlfriend from high school. In Malcolm, what are you doing in my comments? What are you doing? I'm a smaller account.
In anonymous?
No. He's. What I'm saying is, what is he doing in my comment section, taking a poll about me being crazy and stuff? But I'm telling the truth though. And look at the poll. It says 97% people say that he's crazy, and these people can't possibly know me because they never been in there before. They never listened, right? So this is my example right here. I don't have to say nothing to these guys. I could just post, and they're gonna come to my post, and they're gonna show that they actually hate America. Because what did I say wrong? Did I lie? Give me an emoji if I didn't lie in that post. If Trump didn't lie in that post, give me an emoji. Let's see how many people got that, right? Thank you guys, the listeners, everybody, right? Did Trump lie in that post? No, he didn't. You guys got Trump derangement syndrome, and I'm going to keep flexing Trump in front of y'all face because y'all are the radical left. We know for a fact that you're the radical left now. Look, you can't lie now. They didn't think I could get a big room and expose it. Keep coming in my comment section so I can show you all and show the people how I didn't say, what did I say, you guys? I didn't call nobody mom or B. I didn't curse nobody out. I just said, well said POTUS. They hate Trump.
Make America safe again is what POTUS wrote.
And they're actually doing it. They don't want plug. They don't want open borders. It look like they want open borders, Alan.
4% to 6%. They just want to see it burn. You know, they're not coming back. Not one of them.
Yeah, they just come like, wow, these comments are, man, I see what Trump went through. God.
Definitely not these nutbags in your comments. I'm reading this now. Isn't that guy Canadian? These have to be bots. They have to be bots, Patriot. I can't believe these people are real. This is stupid.
People turning information into personal attacks. And, you know, I'm just sitting here like, what? Like, when did we get here? Like, wait a minute. I thought we was talking about information because Axios is still not a reliable source. And it's still, all of this is a psyop. All the whole
Read
thing.
the memo. It's important.
Don't cut me off.
Sorry, I get impatient sometimes, you know.
You done cut everybody off in this doggone space to where the speakers done left and stuff. And here I go trying to show people and expose what I'm doing in my comment section. And I just want y'all to see, man, screenshot what they're saying right now, because I look at what I posted, and I got another post where I'm just going to start posting stuff about Trump right now and see how many people are driving crazy. Anyway.
Hey, Patriot, has anyone come out yet about that memo? Like any of the government, like Bondi?
No, they're quiet.
So that's a fake document. We proved that last night. That broke during your space. So why are we gonna read it now?
I was gonna say something.
Real quick, it's on US.gov. So it's there. They did it, but I didn't mean to mute all y'all, but they can't hear me over the mics. But go ahead, y'all. Read that memo. Representative, you go ahead, and then Corman, you go ahead, and Scorpio, you gotta let other people.
No, it's legit. I'm good.
Posted it on justice.gov from the official article.
Let Corman read that real quick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Robert Duck, I was the same way. I still say this about the document. Posted or not, it is not properly, it isn't properly cleaned up the way it should be. It doesn't address anyone in particular, and there's no signature on it. So, that's my concern, but yeah, I'm going to read it really quick.
And it's a memo, FYI.
It is a memo.
Yeah, just because it's .gov, I could bring in 10 .gov documents right now that would knock everyone's fucking socks off. So remember, everything in jest. Scorpio, chill the fuck out. I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay, let me see.
I agree.
All right, I'm gonna find Scorpio's thing, and then here we go, right here. It says, as a part of our commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations have conducted an exhaustive review of investigative holdings relating to Jeffrey Epstein. To ensure that the review was thorough, the FBI conducted digital searches of its, I'm having to go back and forth, of its database, hard drives, and network drives, as well as physical searches of squad areas, locked databases, hard drives, locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where responsive material may have been stored. These searches uncovered a significant amount of material, including more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence. The files relating to Epstein include a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors, and over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. Teams and agents. Okay, go ahead.
Pause. Ooh, that is the most important part of that document, you guys. They're concurring that, forget the list. There's some very damaging things on there, right? Why are people not talking about that part of that's kind of scary, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Why did people miss the most important part of that document? Once it got confirmed by US.gov, which again, take everything with a grain of salt, I'm with rubber duck, because that document looked hella sketchy last night, still does now. And the fact that the gray badges ain't said that, that's even more so suspect. But anyway, why didn't anybody say anything about the most important part of those docs? What Corman just read. Why you got grown people on here saying that they advocate for trafficking, but they didn't talk about that specifically in the doc? They spent all day trying to deem the Trump administration and Q the bad guys, and didn't actually talk about that's what me and Scorpio was talking about that channel. I'm like, wow, with Scorpio Ridge, I was like, bruh, like, okay, now that it's been confirmed, like, why aren't they reading the document? And Scorpio, right, Corman, and everybody in here, they need to read the document. If y'all really care about the kids for real, read the doggone document. Understand that they're indirectly telling you guys in the document there are ongoing cases. Ongoing cases. Understand that. Go ahead, Corman. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let me see here. Teams of agents. Just making sure I'm picking up right. That's all I was skipping up them. Another point I read. Teams of agents, analysts, attorneys, and privacy and civil liberties experts comb through the digital and documentary evidence with the aim of providing as much information as possible to the public while simultaneously protecting victims. Much of the material is subject to court-ordered scaling. Only a fraction of this material would have been aired publicly had Epstein gone to trial, as the seal served only to protect victims and did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Through this review, without no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials, and will not permit the release of child pornography. Thank you. The systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no, and I'm going to say client list in parentheses. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could...
Can you pause on that right there? Which means he did not blackmail people to do these crimes, but that doesn't mean they didn't commit these crimes on their own. And that's important.
Okay. You ready? You're right. Okay, let me find where I was at. Okay, blackmail prominent individual. Okay, we did not uncover evidence that could predict shit. Okay, it's out now. An investigation against uncharged third parties. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. Say it again, 1,000 victims. Each suffered unique trauma. Sensitive information relating to these victims is intertwined throughout the materials. This includes specific details such as victim names and likeness, physical descriptions, places of birth, associates, and employment history. One of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetrating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. To that end, while we have labored to provide the public with maximum information regarding Epstein and ensured examination of any evidence in the government's possession, it is the determination of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. After a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City on August 10th, 2019. This conclusion is consistent with previous findings, including the August 19, 2019 autopsy, findings of the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the November 2019 position of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusions of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. The conclusion that Epstein died by suicide is further supported by video footage from the common area of the Special Housing Unit, SHU, where Epstein was housed at the time of his death. As DOJ's Inspector General explained in 2023, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU common area would have been captured by this footage. The FBI's independent review of this footage confirmed that from the time Epstein was locked in his cell at around 10:40 p.m. on August 9th, 2019, until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, nobody entered any of the tiers in the SHU. During this review, the FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability. The full, raw, and enhanced videos are available at the following links, and it lists the links. That's it.
So, in summary, by Trump reopening this investigation on Epstein, they discovered 300 gigabytes of evidence. And in my opinion, I believe that is helping them catch these other people that are trafficking children that are still operating. So yes, it is very sad that Epstein killed himself, but he is dead. And it's more important that we have this evidence so we can save children now.
The evidence live on. Listen.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
Let's go to Randy real quick. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Patriot. Thanks for having me on, bro. Hey, real quick, I just want to say that the way I see this whole thing is that Trump, first of all, I trust Trump. He's come through with just about every promise that he's made up to now. And when he first got elected and he first selected his cabinet, they were all excited about this whole thing and they were all gung-ho about it. And the way I see it is they got the information and they realized that this was a much, much bigger and deeper situation and issue than what they even ever imagined. And right now, I think they're probably just trying to everybody since they got elected and they went all gung-ho are probably in hiding and they're probably trying to draw people out. That's the way I see it. I mean, there's no way to distrust them at this point. I mean, there's got to be things that we don't know and they're never going to tell us because I think this thing goes way further than anybody is even imagining at this point. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks, Patriot.
No, go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, Patriot. I totally agree with that statement. But what I think is, I think they did go, woo, that's deep, right? But I don't think at all that they have said that, like, throwing hands up, like, whoa, we're not even. I think that they're going at it the best possible way they can, and actually know how. And it's deep. I do truly believe that. I mean, it goes back 8,000 years. I got some research, and I'm going to throw up, but it gets really deep, and there's a lot of turns and twists in this with child trafficking. The sad part is America is the #1 child trafficking nation in the world.
100%. And again, you guys, y'all not getting we're not getting all the details because they got. I keep having to reiterate they got ongoing cases. Go ahead and read. I can't hear on V.
Me neither. She was.
No, V, you there?
Looks like our line is, but I don't hear. You hear me?
God dog it, I can hear you. All right, let's try to get her back. Well, we have to drop somebody and bring her back up and then pull them back up. See if she can get the calls again. Let's go to Zach here. Let's go to Zach real quick.
Yes. Plus, when you go to state, get all these child predators off the street.
Jimmy?
Pretty much. And go state to state, get the illegal parents off the streets. Get them gone out of the United States. Period again. And on that deal. And make sure everything we do here on out is up and up. And pray for Texas and pray for people in the storm victims and stuff like that. Let's get to work. I'll lay my finger.
Thanks, Randy.
Good.
We're speaking earlier.
Yeah, we got to read back up. Okay. You was trying to talk.
My mic kept opening up. I have a different perspective, but I'll wait to share my thoughts.
Hey, Patriot, I think I'm going to tap out. And all these listeners, go ahead and share out the room. Get some more people in here. Get everybody arguing after I leave. I'm just praying for something
Not today, Trevor, not today.
For others to speak, and we're doing all that really nice stuff.
All right, go ahead, you got it. Go ahead. If you don't want to go right now, you don't have to. I know you want to look to know. You like kind of, okay, it's cool. Let me go to Meg, and then I'm going to go to Adam, and then when the B is ready to talk, you got the green light, sis. All right. Go ahead, Meg, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Patriot. Thank you. Tomorrow I get to pick up my daddy's ashes, and I get to start the process of being his representative legally. So just another big, long day, long week tomorrow. But I did want to tell you, I want you to pay attention. What congressmen are actually talking about this? Senators, congressmen, the representatives of your states. Who's talking about this? I'd really like to see how many of them have come out. I don't care about the influencers. How many of them are silent? How many of them have not said one flippin' word? Pay close attention to all of your representatives of your state to see Democrats and Republicans alike and independents who is actually saying something. Patriot, that's going to be a big deal. You know why? Because what happens now, case closed on Epstein, okay. What happens is whatever they found that's new, that was not part of any court, can now be used for evidence against a lot of these people. You guys have to realize that the reason J6ers didn't get off like they needed to is because their evidence was taken away from them to use in the courts. President Trump is literally quiet. Pam Bondi is quiet. Dan Bongino is quiet. Kash Patel is quiet. His whole administration is quiet. When people go quiet, it means they're strategically planning on something bigger. I want you to truly think. My spirit has been going through this all day. And Patriot, I sent you and Alpha
some people that I want you to look at of things that they said today. It's not that I wanted you to think that I was following them. No, I unfollowed them. I want you to pay attention to what they said, and I will remember those words forever. You guys need to pay attention to who is against everything that President Trump is trying to do for your country. Thank you.
Oh, man, that was checkmate. She said that now that the Epstein case is closed, they can bring up they could get discovery, bring up new charges. Man, ooh, I got chills when she said that. No, did they mention that in the other spaces, you guys? Just so
was saying earlier, I was agreeing with her.
Yeah, that's an excellent point right there. But did they say that in those other spaces? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Did they calculate?
Not at all, Patriot. I listened in the tunnels. Not at all.
No way. They were dogging. Man, I mean, you would believe some of the people. They were dogging Trump.
Yeah, man, would you say that this was more so like, it's not like I'm disappointed that Trump don't want to save the kids. Would you say this is more so a hit job again on the Trump administration and it's massively huge from what we've seen?
100% pay attention to every single person that used to say, this is my president no matter what, and has gone back on their words. Pay very, very close attention to every single person. And if you hear Steve Bannon say one thing about this, he better watch it, because he's the one that recorded 15 hours of Epstein to ready him for an interview with the TV stations. So let me tell you, you hear something from Steve Bannon, he is a complete and utter hypocrite.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are gray hats. I think, the Trump administration, the fact that all the gray badges are being quiet, and I told them, and I'm going to double down and quadruple down now, it's a psyop. This whole thing with the Epstein thing, it's a psyop, but it's still true, right? They're doing these operations to bring people out of the shadows, to reveal to the entire public who the fake media is every time. I'm not lying to y'all. I mean, y'all see the example right there. Like, why are they attacking me so bad? That's one of the many posts. Like, why are you attacking me so bad just for saying that? They act like I told their grandma to go die, right? And why did this all of a sudden surface right after Trump signed the big beautiful bill? See how this works? They went from one thing to the next. This was strategically done. And the fact that the gray badges are being quiet right now, you guys, they're about to drop something huge. They're about to drop. I'm telling you right now, bro. Remember what Dan Bongino said. He said, don't confuse, don't think because you don't see it happening that it's not happening. Watch what's about to happen next.
Patriot, I have a clip. Can I send it to someone that can play it?
Yeah.
This came out today. It's a really, really big deal. It says,
Can you DM it?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Scorpio. It says, just in, former CIA officer John Kiriakou claims the deep state likely destroyed the Epstein documents long before Kash Patel and Dan Bongino got to FBI. I'm not blaming the FBI Director Kash Patel nor the Deputy Director Dan Bongino. I think that the layer beneath them that's part of what we like to call the deep state has taken this bull by the horns, and they probably destroyed the information. That came out today.
We have it all.
Yep.
So we have it all through the military. There's something called military intelligence, and this is why Trump activated our military, because most judges, the State Department of New York, are involved in Epstein. They're involved in child trafficking. So they're never going to prosecute themselves. So in January, when Trump activated every single branch of our military, it was for our country. It was to secure our borders. Why? You see all the judges that have put in 170 lawsuits against Trump, trying to prevent him from deporting 50 million migrants.
These guys are going to be proven is so wrong once again. And you know what? I'm getting to that point where I ain't even about to shadow box with none of these people. I'm going to post the stuff I post, and they're going to argue with themselves in my comment section. And I'm going to double down and post another one. You're mad at me. You first off, you come to my page and follow me. You know I support Trump. Never curb. And then when you get the post that I post and you see what I'm posting in support of Trump, you get mad and come to the comment section. You guys are making my engagement go up a lot. And I really do appreciate you. I mean, it's really helping a lot, but good grief, bro. I'm very... You don't know how many people tell me they just sit back and watch it right now. Even the ones that's in you guys' space, they're watching you guys. And a lot of them DM me, asking me what I think. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to tell them anything I want them to see. This ain't about what Patriot think alone. What do y'all see right now? People were literally cheering on that the Axios thing was like correct. Just to take a shot at Trump. They don't want to address the FBI docs that, we got about the human trafficking operations. They never post about the kids. Rarely. The only time they're talking about anything having to do with the kids is Epstein. And why are they talking about the Epstein stuff? To bash the guy doggone Trump administration. You understand? So this is what I'm, what I be talking about. And if you're in the tunnels listening to me, you could keep talking about me personally, but guess what I'm going to do in the morning? Hey, look, I keep telling y'all, I'm a troll, I troll things sometimes. I'm trolling the truth right now, so if you're dumb enough to come to my post and I'm trolling and I'm telling you I'm trolling, look at your IQ. Let's see how smart you guys are. I mean, it's like I threw out a net to get a bunch of shrimps, and I got it. It's like, look, you guys, all of them came to my one post and showed themselves, and I didn't say one word to them. Why are y'all so bad? You all right? You on your period? You okay? You're mad because Trump is congratulating his DOJ for actually busting human traffickers, but you care about the children? What? So none of these people on this post can no longer say that they care about the children, in my opinion, because, they are busted criminals and getting traffickers and drug dealers and pedophile rings off the street. That's not a lie what he said, so why are you mad? Oh, come on my post again. Keep coming on my post so I can show everybody what y'all do. I was in shock when I looked at how much engagement it was getting. I'm like, good grief. So the algorithm allowed Trump to trend in a bad light today, basically. That's what happened. If you posted about Trump today, you got slammed. Like, it's like, oh, hate Trump Day, National Hate Trump Day. Like he just didn't sign the best bill he ever signed. Go ahead, Corbin. Then we got Adam. Then we got Mr. Simon.
All right. No, really quick. I just want to say this. And you got to look at it like this. This is what I see. They're going to get really comfortable. These people are going to get really comfortable, and they're going to read that memo, and they're going to read stuff. They're going to say, oh, and they're going to watch, and they're going to start showing their color, and they're going to get really loose, and they're going to trip, okay? And they're going to make mistakes. And then that's when you're going to go in. You never... Nobody, I hope not, okay? Because, listen, I was in mixed martial arts since I was 3 years old till I was, I was 30, 35. And, I taught it and everything. The point being is I never allowed my enemy to know I was going to strike if I needed to strike. That was the dumbest thing I would do. So, I just know, honestly, I didn't strike anyways. I just defended myself. That's what I took it for. But the point being is I just really want everyone in here to don't go to those spaces. Don't waste your time. You can take that time and put it towards doing some research, right? And looking into how many, and children, when we say we're protecting the children, when they take murderers off the street, and when they take, drug cartel and drug dealers off the street, that's saving the children. Okay, that's part of saving the children, because our neighborhoods aren't infested with murderers and drug dealers anymore, right? Because our children, I know children at 12 years old addicted to drugs. That is sickening. So it's time for them to go. Please go do your research. Patriot, it's always a pleasure. Everyone, please go down to the bottom, to the little pill, click on it, purple pill, and please like and repost it out. And Patriot, I mean, haters will be haters. I was threatened today, and in my DMs, and someone, a troll or whatnot, said that he was going to rape and kill me. And so the FBI got involved, and they went into my account with me, and they got all the information. So look, it's it's about the fact of the matter that I am a female and I will not bend. Okay, so know this: whoever wants to threaten me, please do. Bring it, bitch. Because I'm telling you, I will die on this hill for these children. I will fight for the children to the end of the times. So I promise you, you will not like what this Southern girl has to offer when you come her way. She has been very well trained, and she knows how to take care of multiple, and she will. Okay? So, anyways, be careful before you step. And I'm gonna keep in this fight. No worries.
And by the way, just to co-sign Carmen, we're nice. Okay, I'm just gonna say this outright. Okay, we're very nice, noble people. Trust me, we are. We can get down dirty too. Trust me, we can. We had a chance to, but we didn't. Because we got respect for people, even if they don't have it for us. You know what I'm saying? So whatever any individual think they have on me, I have 10 times more on you. I really do. I have. Listen, we got a team, and I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. You're not, no matter how many IP addresses you use, no matter whatever, you just walk lightly, because it get real, to whom said it. Now, for real, y'all need to listen to this. It get real out here, you playing. You go around here, you say clown stuff, and just because Patriot getting quiet don't mean I'm scared or anything like that. That means we're not, now we're looking into you. You've made me suspicious enough to look at. It's not. I'm serious. And what I uncovered about a lot of stuff now is that, bro, some of these accounts better keep my name out their mouth. Like, I'm sparing y'all. I'm telling you, I'm sparing you right now. I'm literally, like, honestly, taking the high route, because there's no point in even mentioning your name right now. But you keep playing these little games and keep listening in the tunnels and doing all the little stuff, thinking you're untouchable and untrackable and untraceable, but you can track me down and trace me down. Bro, our hackers are hacking your hackers. Trust me, at all times. We got detectives in this space. We got FBI, good and bad. Got ex-CIA, we got military personnel. Y'all don't even know who I'm talking to in my DMs about y'all and who y'all actually are and what y'all doing. Like, y'all have no clue. So stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna even engage with y'all right now, but y'all gonna keep putting yourself out in the spotlight, and you gonna mess around and find out real soon that it get real karma. Didn't we just have the opportunity to literally, like, expose somebody, and we did it? We could, and I'm not talking about fake expose. We ain't talking about fabricate no documents and no. Again, I had asked individuals to show us their criminal background, and I'll do mine too. We can do that. And when I say show your criminal background, that means I kind of know a thing or two about a couple people on here that try to act and pretend like they're tough, right? And you've been having a lot of people dig into y'all because y'all are weird. You're weird. You don't care about no children. You don't. You're over here talking all this noise, save the children, and then you're trying to grift it and create a movement off of false narratives, trying to go against the administration that actually put action towards saving the children, exposing the people that have something to do with it, and bringing them to justice. What, we supposed to listen to Axios and CNN and MSNBC now? Like, do you think I'm stupid? You guys that are going against Trump right now, you're siding with the establishment. Your hate for Trump and all that you're doing, the money that you're being paid to do what you're doing, you're going against your own country right now. I want y'all to know it. I think it's a game right now. You think it's funny. But I'm going to keep posting my posts and people are going to see who y'all are because I'm dry y'all out. I'm going to make y'all so irrelevant because I'm not going to say your name no matter what you do. Why in the heck would you host the space and say my name right now? I didn't say nothing to you. I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't say nothing. I'm just supporting my president like I've been doing. If you don't like it, unfollow me, block me. Why can't they just press the block button? I don't get it. They get so mad at us.
Oh my God, that's been it's no Patriot. They want to know what you're doing. They envy you. They want to know. It's called jealousy. Poor pitiful them. You know, and you know what? Hey, haters make you famous, so keep going. Keep doing it.
Perfect, Carmen. I was gonna say something to Patriot. I was gonna say, play a head over because you've been found.
He goes, I heard the voice of the Lord saying,
Hold on. That's loud, Squirt. My ears are busted right now. I'm getting a little old right now. I'm going to be 37 soon. My ears are getting old. But you can play it later. I'll let you play it later, okay? Anyway, as I was saying.
From our Homeland Security.
Yeah, which people don't even follow the Homeland Security page. They don't follow the U.S. government pages. They don't really do the actual work because I think they're so lazy and they so badly want to run with narratives. I got a homework assignment for everybody. So all the people that are in my comment section on that post, right? Just go look at their page real quick and see if they have anything about saving the children. Just show me real quick. And show me something pro-Trump that they've ever posted, right? Also do that. And what you're going to find is you're most of the Jews, most likely you're going to see that they've been anti-Trump since he got in there, and they haven't posted nothing about the children, and they haven't posted nothing positive about the country since. So what are we dealing with here? Is this something much more detailed and sinister? Is this a coordinated attack? Are we pulling out the swamp creatures? I'm going to continue to post. I mean, I like it. When you mother lovers come on my wall, I'm just going to look at it. And I'm going to make another post. I'm going to look at it loud and make another post. And some of you influencers, you better keep it friendly. We got checkmate on some of y'all. I'm telling you. We got checkmate. Don't confuse silence with weakness now. We got checkmate. I'm waiting on you to make a move. I called out one of them before. Anyway, I'll land right there. I was told to not get engaged and stuff like that. We actually not going to engage in it.
Listen, Patriot, I need Alpha to slow down next time he comes in this room like that. Because I swear to God, he came in here so fast and come up straight up to this thing. I was like, Jesus Christ. Alpha, slow your ass up. You can't be coming up in here like that, Alpha. I mean, we're on a little bit of edge right now, and you come flying up in here, bebopping through everybody, knocking people down. I was like, what the hell's going on?
So, Alpha, real quick, before we move on, I do want to hear from Alpha. Then we got Mr. Silent, and then Adam.
Don't forget me, man.
No, yeah, Mr. Adam and then Mr. Silent. I think it's one of y'all two. But real quick, let me ask Alpha a question. So we played your post, Alpha, and I couldn't agree with you more, brother. I was blowing phone up today. I just wanted to laugh with you and be like, look at these mother Alpha, look at this crap. They have gotten so desperate, bro, that you don't even have to talk about their grandma or their mom. Some people, you can talk about their grandma right now, and they'll excuse that to mess with you about Trump. They'll be like, oh, cool, you talk about my grandma.
Your mama.
And Trump, you know, you can pretty much kick their grandma in the butt right now, and they won't pay attention to it because they're so busy worried about Trump now. And I couldn't agree more with what you said in that. It's amazing how when you pro something pro-America now, and it does go viral, all the little rats and snakes come out. They all come out. But go ahead, what are your thoughts, man? I definitely would love to hear from you, man. And glad you was able to show up. I did blow your phone up. I think I called you like 3 times. I just wanted to laugh with you. That was it. Nothing important. Go ahead, brother.
Oh man, I wanted to take the calls. As you can imagine, I was on a lot of calls, a lot of Zooms, a lot of things today with people. Just trying to deal with what was unfolding. I've been in a lot of spaces, trying to help control the chaos and put out the artificial fires. And I always like to save this one to close the night out on. Because I know you guys are locked in and squared away here. And 2, it's nice to in your shift on the way home. And I always consider this space one of the home ones, just so everybody knows. Listen, you won't ever really find me talking about dragons. Why? Because they're not real and they have no impact. Why are there certain spaces that just could not keep Q out of their mouth?
I believe in dragons.
And there's a red dragon. That's another story. Why do people in spaces continue to keep Q in their mouth if it's a LARP and it's not true? Because they fear it. They absolutely fear it. Somebody put out a post today. I'm not sure if it was Jenny or who, and it was a repost of somebody else's, and it said something going off memory here. So forgive me if I butcher it. Somebody can correct me. But it said, if in the end it turns out that Q is fake, and I supported it, something that was pushing against the deep state, pushing against human trafficking and child trafficking, then I'm still proud of what I supported. But if in the end it turns out C was real, then you're going to have a lot to answer for, because your opposition helped the deep state that did child trafficking and satanic occultism and tried to destroy humanity. And I thought that was an interesting perspective. As far as the information that I've been putting out there, it's just to kind of help everybody kind of refocus and look at the perspective of what's happening. There's a lot of people. I'm actually working, since I did a serious post, so I'm kind of working on a quasi-humorous post that's going to be coming out here in the next 30 minutes or so. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's, even though it's humorous, it's actually, there's an article that I've been writing about. I actually talked about it in an interview that I did with Jenny about the different types of influencers that are out there. Well, this is kind of a parody of that, but there's still some legitimacy to it, just to get people to talk about it and recognize the different types of assets that are in this sphere. But I would just say this: if anybody wanted to look at the boards today, there's no posts for July 7th. But if you look at July 8th, well, he's dead. No. Flynn news coming. So I think we're getting closer and closer to Flynn's work becoming something that it's no longer covert, but public, or a combination thereof. But yeah, I'm up for any questions. Yeah, Patriot.
Alpha, I just DM'd you. We tried to play your video earlier, but the music is too loud. Is there any way you can play it?
Yeah, let me ask you this: were you trying to play it through computer or phone?
Through my other phone.
Okay, because there's people that are saying that the background music was loud, and there's other people that are saying that it was perfect. And what I'm starting to see is people that play it through phone. But if you have the ability to play it through a computer,
myself, I think it'll be fine. But just in the space, it was, they told me Patriot muted me. And I have a wide spectrum on.
Yeah, I can always connect the soundboard and do it for you guys if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Or you could just give us a summary of what you were saying in real time.
I mean, if you read, if well, we read articles. Who put out those articles? The media. Well, we saw autopsy reports. Who disclosed those? Government. Well, so the very institutions that we say are corrupt are the very institutions that provided the information and curated, the information that we finally came to our assessment on. And now you have, bring it into, a modern, conversations of, you could say 2016 or 2020 to the day. I've done my own research. I know what's going on. I formed this assessment off of what? Media, books, articles, documentaries, the internet, Substacks, everything outside of independent conversations of people involved. This is all stuff that, again,